Alright.
Alright.
I've locked his first, Saki, then Bendejo, Yaknako, then Bulldog, and the two Ferrari.
Okay, Knuckle. Sorry about the stream cutting out there, that is on my side, so apologies. Jaden, you were the only one to watch what actually happened in the session. Do you want to talk what happened maybe in the safety car? Because I heard there were some more penalties.
So there was definitely contact between people. I saw 2-3 people coming to the pits. I think it was a Racing Point in the Mercedes, and I think Manu was pitted twice in I think 2 to 3 laps. There's been a lot of pit stops and winged repairs.
Okay.
Its burnout is definitely going to have a major penalty against him, as I think.
Okay, well we've got another safety car. Manu has DNF'd. I'm not too sure. It's probably been a big accident then if he's DNF'd, as Pandago is now actually the leader of the race on the soft tires. Yahu and Snifflers are on the hards. A lot of people pitting though. We've got 6-7 people pitting, it looks like. Some will be serving penalties, some will be changing their front wings. Those who are just changing the tires will then go ahead of all of them. As we see a lot of different tires coming onto the cars, we've got some soft, some hard, some mediums. Everybody really switching it up, but the top 4 not deciding to pit, as Puffmaze comes ahead of all of them and says, how's it, I'll take those positions, thank you very much. Right, so they've all got to catch up to the safety car, and then once they've all caught up, the session will get going again. Pandago on the softs, do you think he'll be able to keep his lead? Surely 6 laps on the soft already means that he's got to be pitting shortly.
I reckon you could push it another 8 laps, I reckon. But he's got to get a good enough gap to be able to still be in the fight. Because both Yakunako and Sniffles is on the hards, and they can definitely push it to the end if they manage their tires.
Definitely. So, yep, people joining again. Hello everybody. Just an issue on our side with the internet. I'm on a wireless connection instead of Ethernet, so I do get a drop from time to time. This will get fixed eventually. This is the first race of the season, so some issues will occur whilst we're trying to get used to everything. Now will we see the safety car come in this lap? Snifflaza gets a 5-second penalty. Severe warning with Nick. I wonder what's happened there. Where's
I think maybe
3rd place?
Check?
Well, Snifflaza is in 3rd.
Both Bendejo and Snifflaza are in the pits.
They've gone in the pit, so maybe they've picked up some wing damage. Huh.
I think I've lost count on a wing place.
Well, we've had a lot of stops, so I'll try to get that there, so everybody just pitting the once except for a couple of people that have already pitted twice. We've got Snifflaza and Pandago in the pits that are now coming out, which means we're going to have another extended safety car, which means we're going to see even more variance in the strategy. We see some people in the hards with some people in the mediums. Surely people can't take these mediums all the way to the end. They've got to pit again.
Yeah, I saw Snifflaza when he went in the pits. He was on fairly new hards and he's pitted for mediums. I think he just wanted a pit for a penalty. He didn't want that penalty to wreck his whole race at the end.
So
I think Bendejo definitely be top 10 because he has pitted probably the best time for the hards.
Yeah, he's on the hard, so he's one of the few people that I could say that, you know, he could go to the end of the race without having to pit again. But I'm looking at some of these suspect guys, you know, Nick 2nd, Kyle in 4th, you know, 6 and 7 laps on the mediums. Unless the telemetry is wrong, they're going to have to pit again. As race control says, safety car will be in this lap.
See Avila, Sagi, Yaknal, and them also on them hards with
Yeah.
1 lap on them.
Yaku, Sagi getting 5-second penalties. I think there's a lot of rubbing going on between the races and the safety car. It's very hard to avoid people, and I think some people are getting penalties as a result of this, as the safety car will pull out now, as Yaku Naku will lead us into lap 9 of this Grand Prix. 21 laps to go. Yaku Naku in the lead on the 6-lap old hards. Behind him we've got Nick and Avilach. He'll come up to the last couple of corners now, as Manu's left the session. I think...
Oh no.
I think
he
I think Manu had already DNF'd, so he's just officially left. But here we go, so final corner, Yakunal will release everybody out, and it will be the restart of the Grand Prix. Yaku's still in the lead. It doesn't look like Nick will get the run in on T1. And I saw somebody with the position change there, so I will look on. Oh, and the Red Bull, massive slide there, as Avilach in 5th, now going to have to challenge for 6th place with Porfmace. Porfmace does get the lead, pushes him wide, and now we've got Avilach back onto the inside line now, as Porfmace takes it outside of the mediums, and now we've got Donovan having a look at the Red Bull. And Donovan's actually lost a couple of positions there. I think he tried way too hard, as we see more rubbing between Nambulldog and others. Nambulldog in 9th place between the Mercedes and the Alpha. Very interesting restart, and a lot of rubbing as towards the back of the grid. We've got Burnout trying to protect now from Pandago, who's just a couple tenths behind him. Oh, and the Ferrari.
Oh, he spun the Ferrari.
The Ferrari spun. Oh, wow, okay.
That's a DNF for Yako.
I feel like with the penalty, was it him that spun Jochnow around? Oh, Nick. It was Nick. Nick's the one at the... No, Nick's got a separate penalty now with Yakunako.
I was watching... Donovan has spun the Ferrari. I was watching on my screen.
So he's the one that actually ended up spinning the Ferrari, okay. I think that's definitely going to go to the stewards after this race. Nick's got a 3-second penalty now for corner cutting by the looks of it, as Jochnow leaves the session. I would have been very angry. You know, I've pitted, I'm on some fresh tyres, I want to be pushing. And then, yeah, that happens. We've got 2 people on the pits now. We've got Nick, who will go onto the hard tyres. Buddha getting held up, but they're both at the back of the grid, so it won't really matter. We've got Nambulldog drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. Wow, okay. This, a lot of people picking up penalties in the safety car period. I have no idea what's going on here, as it looks like Buddha's serving penalties.
Rebel's out. Oh no, wing damage. He spun and hit the wall.
Wing damage under VAC. Wow, okay. Nambulldog not having the best of laps. First the penalty for the warnings, the corner cut warnings, and now also wing damage. He's going to have to go to the back of the grid surely. It's going to be a 25-second stop.
Yeah. I see Nick has got a... and Bulldog has got a big gap.
As Nick gets another... I think there might be something up with the... telemetry, because it keeps telling me Nick gets a penalty every 10 seconds. That might actually be the case, and if it is, then that's extremely unfortunate. The 2 alphas running in 11th and 12th, so at the minute, no points. No points for them.
Most definitely going to be busy.
Yeah, definitely. The DRS has been enabled now as well, so anybody within a second of each other will get the DRS. I'm just trying to find...
I can see Carl pushing those mediums. He's got 10 laps on them.
Yeah, so Carl, 10 laps on the mediums. He will need to pit soon. He will be released into clean air though, or he will probably in between the alphas. He will look to maybe rejoin. Carl, 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. A lot of people getting these warnings now, aren't they?
Yeah, the track limits. As Sagi runs wide out of the left, right, this slow one. He's coming up to the fastest section of the track.
Yeah, Sagi, he's current. Donovan, 3 seconds as well. I think what's happening now is a lot of people on the warnings will I think a lot of people that had warnings will now get the penalty because...
Donovan just made a nice overtake on the AlphaTauri.
Oh, he's overtaken AlphaTauri. Okay, so Donovan on the softs, 4-lap softs will overtake 7-lap mediums, to put it bluntly, and Donovan will go into 5th place. He can charge to Avilak now, as Avilak is on the hard tyres, and Donovan doesn't have DRS on this occasion, but will have it going in to turn 3. We'll stay on board with him. A couple other battles going across the grid as Burnout 7 tenths behind Pandigo now, and Buddha 1.6 seconds behind Nam Bulldog. Nick's actually gotten past Nambull by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think he got him in the pits.
Oh, Donovan, big slide there. So he's going to lose some time. And now Porfmace is going to be on the back of him. Donovan, wow. 5-lap on the softs. He's going to have to pit again with Carl. I think they'll pit on a similar lap as who we've got. Okay, the camera's doing its own thing, but we're on board with Donovan again. Avilak actually 3 tenths off. We're starting to get a little group forming here, hey, with Carl and Avilak and Donovan and the 2 AlphaTauris.
I can see the front row for 2nd place. It's Buddha. It's me, Buddha. It's at the back on the softs.
Burnout goes on a move. He will get it against Pandigo, braking very late, and Pandigo nearly going onto the gravel there, but good awareness to let Burnout through. So Burnout will be in 7th place. Pandigo will stay in 8th. Burnout needs to get a move on now because he will have to pit again, whereas Pandigo will not.
Donovan's going inside into the first corner. Gets the move done.
Gets the move done. Okay, so Donovan... We were talking earlier about Donovan being on the softs, being able to charge ahead because of those on the harder and medium tyres. So Donovan looked like he's making the most of it at the minute.
Ooh, Pop was really close to making contact with Avila.
Yeah, so the 2 AlphaTauris both pushing, both on the same strategy as well, but they're both still pushing to get ahead. So we've got Porfmace trying to overtake Avilak and Pandigo trying to overtake Burnout, both 8 tenths behind their rivals. As again, this group for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, trying to overtake one another, will now go into the long left-hander, as it's Carl from Donovan, from Avilak, from Porfmace. And then we've got Burnout and Pandigo at the back, as well as everybody else. Do you think we'll see Donovan in soon? I mean, he's in 4th at the minute. If he is to pit, he will get some clean air. I think it's going to be the right time, surely.
Most definitely. We can probably get the undercut on Carl and the rest of the group behind him. So the front runners, they're 4 seconds ahead, but
ooh, I think Carl's got a really slow run out of the last corner. Donovan will have DRS. There should be an easy overtake onto the inside, though. Looks like a lot of ERS used by Carl, and Donovan will get that done. Carl really running low on those medium tyres, as now he's under threat by the other Red Bull. Avilak will take 4th position, but Carl will have the inside line. Carl will brake late. He will have the inside, but it looks like Avilak just with more grip, as Carl looks like he's not been able to get traction, and Porfmace also overtaking. Carl needs to pit soon, otherwise he's just going to keep dropping down the order. Sagi now also 4 tenths off the leader. We've got the battle for first. You said Sagi was your favorite. I didn't give him a chance, but it looks like your prediction might come true now. Through the long left-hander, will be flat out. 6 tenths. He will probably lose some time here to dirty air, but then he will have that DRS to run through the rest of the straight now. So we've got 4 tenths, 3 tenths. It's going to be close. He'll take the inside line. Very brave, and takes it.
Nicely done.
Well done from Sagi.
Dive bomb. It's worked well for him.
Yeah, very well. Yaku's behind him on 5-lap older hards. Can he run his hards all the way to the end of the race? I mean, there's what, 15 laps left?
Most definitely. I did it myself, and I can say he could do it as well, because he looks very clean around the track. And with this, if you could create a gap with the fresher tyres and Yaku Knuckle, most definitely possibly get the win. As there's a virtual safety car, DNF for Nick.
DNF for Nick? What's happened to Nick? I'm gonna stay on board with Nam, so maybe I can go on board.
I think it's out of the fast corner, he may have lost the car. Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the fast left right, eh?
Yeah.
That's a real
really
shame for Nick. Yeah, Nick was running up the penalties. We saw multiple 5 seconds and 3 second corner cut penalties for him, as we've got the virtual safety car, so everybody has to stick to a time delta. You cannot go quicker than that delta, otherwise you will pick up a penalty, and you are not allowed to overtake during the safety car. I think we'll see Kyle maybe take advantage of this, as well as Donovan, as the VSC is ending now. We're going to stay on board with Saggy, as he's having a battle with Yahu now, 6/10 behind. Do you think Yahu Knuckles' tyres will drop off towards the end of the race? Will the drop off be that bad, or will both their tyres be similar enough? Because there's only a 5-lap difference that they'll be able to battle.
If they keep fighting each other like this, they're probably going to have to pit again. They're really pushing the cars to the limits.
Ooh, has Kyle gone in? Yeah, Kyle's gone in. So Kyle has pitted finally. 14 laps on the mediums is a valiant effort, but now he will go into the pits, as we'll follow Pandago now, 5/10 off Burnout. We will have the DRS, but so will Burnout, so we shouldn't see an overtake happening here, but only 5/10 behind. The leader, Yahu Knuckle is 8/10 off the leader, should I say, Saggy Fatface. Nick leaves the session in rage, I would say, as Pandago looking for an opportunity now to overtake Burnout. Just a couple tenths behind, trying to find a way past, but very difficult at the beginning of the second sector to go too wide anywhere, as we'll follow him now onto the long left-hander. Seems to be a decent corner for both of them. Yep.
You can see he's putting a lot of pressure on its Burnout. You can see he's doing small mistakes here and there with Mercedes.
And Pandago's the one with far more ERS, so he will have more time to attack than Burnout. Burnout on 9-lap old softs, so he will... What's happened to Puff, man?
Puff has spun out of the fast corner.
So
and
Puff...
I think that's an M plate. Right end plate, actually.
So Puff has spun.
I think his front wing's fine. He's lucky there.
How has he managed to avoid contact? Wow. Okay then.
Codemaster's actually started the job by ghost moding him.
Yeah, maybe he got ghosted. Pandago ahead now, Burnout, as Burnout heads into the pits. He will go for a set of hards, as Carl also on a new set of hards for the remainder of this race. 18 laps to go. Everybody's spread out a little bit now. Not really too many battles going on. The closest battle now is actually for first place. Yahu Knuckle 1.8 seconds off the lead. I will leave you for 2 minutes as I go to the toilet, and then I'll come back.
Now I can see Yahu Knuckle is dropping off very fast. See, Saggy's keeping it clean, very fast around the track. Losing about a tenth every corner. But yeah, everyone's very spread out at the moment. See, Donovan's on the softs. 10 laps, his tires are definitely eating it. So he's gonna have to pit very soon, otherwise his pace is just gonna drop off, as Avlok is catching very quickly. And as I say that, he comes into the pits. And the Ferrari of Yahu Knuckle is catching, it seems. Keeps going up and down. Ooh, Sniffers has nearly gone off, but he saved it. See, Puff is in the pits. He has pitted on to the medium, so he's gonna go all the way to the end of those tires. So I can see pretty much everyone on hards or mediums, but Nam Bulldog is on the softs.
How's it?
Not too much. It's me, Buddha's about to get lapped by Saggy. Oh no, not Saggy.
Buddha is quite down the road from everybody else.
I think Buddha's been lapped by Yaku and Saggy already, because Unlock is on his tail.
From what I can see, it looks like his car is ghosted, so it might not actually be him at the wheel. But
there's a new thing Codemasters have done for back markings.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of toxic people in multiplayer. And
yeah, they've actually ghosted them. Okay, yeah, so the game ghosting Buddha as everybody makes their way past him one by one. Run board with Yahoo, 3 seconds off the lead now. It's not looking good for him, is it? Because second place is looking good, but to get first on 5 lap older, harder tires is going to be very difficult, and looks like Saggy's day might have been made a lot easier.
The times keep going up and down on the charts for between Yako and Saggy. You can see two Mercedes got good points, and they keep pushing as Donovan had pitted, as I said before, he had pitted before for the mediums and will take him to the end.
Yeah, Donovan and Sniffle are on the 2 of the 4 people on the mediums. Carl now has the closest gap to anybody, and it's to Burnout. Both of them on relatively new hard tires, and I think we'll stick for this battle for a while now because not really much action going on elsewhere.
The Mercedes of its Burnout's gonna have to start checking his mirrors because Carl in the Racing Point, or as people would know, the Mercedes 2.0 is coming up his tail.
Yeah, so the Racing Point, the pink Mercedes, the Tracing Point, you can call them what you want. It's looking good for Carl at the minute, keeping the gap relatively stable at 1.6 seconds. Once you get into about the second range, you will start to find you get some dirty air, which will affect you in the corners, which is why we've got DRS to help us out in the straights to try and keep up. Carl on 24% battery, Burnout on about the same, so both of them got about even firepower to defend and attack, as the gap's gone to about 2 seconds.
I reckon the race is finally cooled down, but if Carl keeps pushing like this, we may see a good battle between the two Mercedes.
Yeah, we've got the 2 Mercedes, though it is 13 seconds between each other. It is a bit of a gap.
See, that gap's dropping every second lap.
Right, okay. Well, Donovan on the mediums and Burnout on the hards. Does Donovan have any damage? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like Burnout does either.
And Bulldog. And, Sniffles and Carl has got 3-second bounties, probably for track limits.
Yeah, multiple people getting penalties. I missed out on 5th place because I had the most penalties out of anybody in Tier 1 on Wednesday. I was behind Wasim by 2 seconds, but when we crossed the line I was actually behind about 10 because of all the penalties, as Buddha also gets a penalty now. A lot of people maybe pushing a bit too hard to try to get ahead.
Yeah, they just have to manage their tyres. I reckon that's the best option for now. As Carl has...
Yeah, he's out of ERS. He's out of ERS, but so is Burnout. 10-12% on the ERS.
Still in overtake mode.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe his overtake's gotten stuck. I know that's an issue for some people. Huh. Oh well.
Also seems to be coming out with more bugs every update.
every update something else goes wrong. Last week it was the servers. This week it looks like we might have an an overtake glitch, unless that is what he's actually doing. Carl looking to get that gap down to 1 second, but he's actually lost quite a bit of time now. It's now gone up to 2.3, and he's gone wide on the left-right. We'll pick up a warning there as well. He is rattled, I think. I think he's seen that he's dropped. Yeah, he's dropped about 1.5 seconds to burn out this lap. Yeah, not where you want to be. A Sniffleizer will pits for softs. Yeah,
okay, it's a good decision there. Most definitely catch up. And as the Mercedes comes by,
oh, it's gonna be very close. Burnout will be behind Sniffleizer, but he will have warm tires. Will he get the DRS? I don't think. No, he hasn't got the DRS, but I think Sniffleizer will have much more areas to defend, and it looks like he does. Yeah, 60%, 10%. Sniffleizer has all the ERS in the world to keep Burnout behind him.
Oh, he's finally got off the overtake button.
Oh, there we go. Well, he's finally solved it. Looks like a decent strategy from the Racing Points though, because Carl wasn't able to overtake Burnout, and Sniffleizer's gone in and said, "Hang on, I've got a big gap here. Let me pit, and I can stay front. I can stay in front." And maybe this is going to slow down Burnout now because of the dirty air, and let Carl, reel him in.
Yeah, the dirty air is much more realistic compared to last year's game.
Yeah, some people say it's not realistic because it's worse, but I think you're right. It is. I think around 1 second is when your car starts to become a bit more clumsy, under braking in the corners, just because of all the dirty air that the car in front of them is causing. As Carl still.
Out of that one corner.
Yeah.
He lost about 3/10 out of that one fast left.
Oh yeah, the fast left, right. When you're doing that speed and the air hits you, oh, it's terrible. Burnout getting another 3-second penalty there as well.
See, Poff is closing the gap on Carl. He's on the mediums, pushing hard. Yakanako gets another penalty. 3 seconds.
Poff will be on the quicker tire. There's Carl also with with also another penalty. Wow.
Definitely feeling the pressure from the AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
And then Bulldogs sets this lap of a 1:22.9.
Nam's not really been anywhere since the safety cars, but looks like he's pitted and gone into the soft tire and gotten the fastest lap. I don't know if we award points for quickest lap, but if that is so, then yeah.
If he's in the points, then the lap will count.
Okay. Well, yeah. So Porfmace now under 1 second to Carl. This is not what Carl wanted because he was trying to get onto the back of Burnout, but it looks like Porfmace has now actually caught onto Carl. So we'll watch this battle. Porfmace does need to stay within 1 second to get DRS. It looks like he will do now, as we'll go onto the straight and then the second straight after turn 2. Porfmace will have DRS both times, but he goes into the pits. Underway goes into the pits. He could have completed his race on those mediums, albeit it would have been quite sketchy. He could have maybe gotten a puncture, which will release Carl now to solely focus on Burnout. But what do you think the thinking is there behind Porfmace pitting?
I reckon he's pushed the tyres a bit too hard and hasn't managed them at all. Because that's definitely not pitted there.
Yeah.
I reckon he's just not managing his tyres properly.
I don't really have an explanation for it. I mean, you can do 16 laps on the hards. I mean, on the mediums. It's not out of the question. But it looks like he's decided to play it safe there and gone onto the softs. Maybe he'll steal quickest lap from Bulldog, but we will see how he does now as he's on the softs. He will stay positioned because
a leader is set the gap and still extending that gap from Yakulis. He's done 23 laps on the tyres and counting.
Yeah, 23 laps. You're starting to roll the dice here. So if anybody doesn't know, beyond 65 to 70%, the game does factor in a chance that your tires could, one of your tires could get a puncture. So Yakunaku will be watching for that now, because once you get a puncture, you're going to start dropping time very rapidly. You're going to be 10-15 seconds slower a lap. So good luck to him on the 23 lap old hards. Everybody around him on the hards, which just goes to show the soft hard does seem to be the best strategy here today.
See, I'm looking at the stops right now, and you can see top 4 have done 1 stops, and the next 2 have done 3 stops, and the rest all the way down to the grid to Namble done some 4 pit stops. Big amount for one race.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody in the WhatsApp group saying if they're getting penalties left, right, and centre. I don't know if it was Bulldog, but if it was, it might explain why he's on 4 pit stops. I'm just looking now at the quickest laps. Bulldog, the only person to set a 22. Nobody's even close to him. The next quickest being Buddha by the looks of it at a 24.4. But yeah, the Nam Bulldog by far the quickest person out on track at the minute.
And as we speak, he's really closing that gap on the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, so we'll stay on board with him. Both of them on the soft tyres, and I'll just change the interval gap there now. 1.5 seconds. Saggy Fat Face will get a warning. Hasn't gotten too many warnings so far this race. I think he should be good in regards to penalties. I think Yakunaku will be running a similar amount as we go on to lap 26 for these two. 1.5 seconds out. Nam Bulldog will have to close to get the DRS if he wants a chance, as he sets the purple sector 3. Certainly plenty of life left on those tyres now as the gap goes up to 1.6.
He's really pushing that car now. He really wants the extra points.
Yeah, so 10th to 9th is only 1 extra point. So to be frank, neither of them are coming out here with a significant points haul, but much better getting points than not getting points.
The fastest lap will also help him in the points as well.
Oh yeah, it will. So if so there is an extra point on the line here for Nam Bulldog regardless, so he will need to protect his fastest lap as well as try overtake Porfmace, as Bernard gets a 3-second penalty for warnings. Nobody else really close at the minute. We see Kyle still, not able to get ahead of Burnout, both on very similar tyres. Do you see Burnout maybe sticking on here? I think he's got a big enough gap to keep it.
Yeah, most definitely. See, Yakunaku is still pushing those tyres, and Avlok has hit the 20 mark, and Saggy Fat Face.
Yakunaku 25 laps on the hards. Ooh, he is a very, very lucky man from now on if those tyres don't blow up. I'm going to stay with him for a little bit. I'm just going to watch that gap between Porfmace and Namdog on the side.
I'll keep an eye on Yaku. I'm seeing the position changes, and Yaku's come up by 5 places, as well as Donovan, Sniffler, and It's Me Buddha has dropped by 9, so it's not a good first race for him, as he's out the points as well and will not be catching Nam Bulldog, who is very fast at the moment with his pace.
Yeah, the one Ferrari doing very well, the other one not so well. Just watching the gaps, nobody really budging, everybody's still in position. Namdog is looking like he's getting a run on Porfmace. He's now within a second, so Porfmace has had a really, really bad chicane. Pandago, 3-second penalty for him. He's in 4th place at the minute on the 20-lap old hards, as Nam Bulldog is now in position to overtake Porfmace. He will have all the tyres, but it doesn't look like it's stopping him at the minute.
Definitely, he's going to get the DRS here.
So he will get the DRS, 8 tenths now to the line. He won't overtake him on the first straight, but on the second straight he may be able to. However, Porfmace has got far more overtake if he needs to use it. Nam Bulldog all out of it, as he'll get the DRS now into the second straight. I don't think he'll get him here now, he just doesn't have enough overtake.
I think he's been using it for the fastest lap too much, not worrying about saving it up for overtaking Paul.
Absolutely, yeah. Just you've got to conserve your battery. You can't just use it. You can't just use it all up and then try and overtake somebody, because they're just going to flick up the switch and they're gone. So, Porfmace, I think he's in a safe position here unless he gets something very wrong, like this left-right chicane. So we'll stay on board with him for the minute.
You can keep it clean here and get a good exit. DRS is definitely going to help it much more. Yeah, they both did good through that corner.
It now goes under 3/10, not able to overtake still. Avilach, you know, beginning to maybe worry Yahunacho there. It's under 4 seconds now, as I think Yahu's tyres is going to really start to worry him. As we're on to the final lap, Saggy Fatface in the last sector. It's been a very clean race for him. He hasn't really had any worries. We had Buddha who started ahead of him, purely because he jump started, and yeah, it looks like Saggy Fatface is clean sailed from then, and he will win today's race as he comes across the line on the 22 lap old hards, and he will take first place. However, penalties could have a factor here, as Yahunacho on the 20 lap old mediums will stick it out. Doesn't look like any punctures for him as he comes across the line in second place. We're going to switch to Nam Bulldog now as he's 6/10 off. They've still got 2 sectors of the race to go, so we'll stay on board with them. Avila crossing the line in third place, and he'll shortly be followed by Pandigo on the 21 lap old hards as we now go into the final chicane.
I'm speechless with Yaku pushing those tires almost 30 laps.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wouldn't have gone above 23, 24, but the absolute mad lad has done it. Tasneem saying Ferrari on the podium, let's go. Yep, congratulations to Yahunacho on second place. Unfortunate about his teammate, as we've got now Donovan and Sniffleizer crossing the line in 5th and 6th place. Nam Bulldog doesn't look like he'll be able to get Porfmace, as they'll have to settle for 9th and 10th. However, Nam Bulldog will have the fastest lap, so you may get you'll get an extra point for that, and that will be your race today.
Who do you reckon your driver of the day is?
Well, the game's given it to Sniffleizer. I wasn't following his race too closely. I think Yahunacho on the 28 lap hards has done it for me. I think you've got to be incredibly brave to run the hard tires into that kind of territory.
Yeah, I'm going to invite our race winner and do an interview with him.
Alright, so we'll wait for the race winner to be invited into the session. Hopefully their voice is shared. I'll just keep an eye on the chat to make sure that it is. Julie saying, well done Saggy, driver of the day. Saggy, yes, first place. Yeah, very well done. He was streaks above everybody else. Hopefully we can get an interview with him done, but we'll wait for that.
I think my predictions were right for Saggy.
Yeah, they were right. Saggy with the win. Only 1 second penalty less, I think, than 2 seconds penalty less than Yahunacho. Everybody getting penalties in the end. It's just the case of the corner cutting. Everybody's going to get penalties, but some with much more than others. We had quite a few DNFs. It could have been out of rage, some out of just by mistake going into the barriers.
And I think Saggy is joining the comms box at the moment. She's loading up. And hello?
Hello, can you hear me on the stream?
Yeah. Just check. Yeah, you're on the stream. Congrats on the win. So talk me through it. How's the ties in the whole race altogether for you?
I The race was okay. I think it was Buddha who jumped the start, and I thought, like, how the hell did he get like off the lights before I did? But I saw he had a drive-through. I also think the safety car changed the race, because I was actually planning on doing a two-stop, and then the safety car came out and went onto hard and just raced till the end.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I did see one thing though, so Yakunako behind you was on 28 lap old hards. Were you said you were on the two stop. How did you come to that decision? The one stop looked like to be popular for the guys behind you. Was two stop always your strategy going into it? Did you not really have a look at the one stop?
For a while I thought about a one-stop, but I experimented with the two-stop, and I thought the two-stop was going to go faster. I just didn't think the safety car would come out so early. And when it did come out on like lap 5, at 6, I thought I'll just jump in and go on to hard, and I don't have to stop again.
Cool. So, and the penalties as well. Did you feel really frustrated when you kept getting warnings? Because I saw on the race director you were getting warnings sometimes.
Yeah, I got a 3 second when I was chasing Avalach, I think, and then when we had the restart on the safety car, there was a group of guys that all slammed on brakes, and I slammed on behind them, and Puffmay slammed into the back of me, and it gave me a 5 seconds for it. So after that, I thought, okay, I need to get to the front, and then like scenario 7, just race to the end kind of thing. And I thought, okay, I'm now 9 seconds. All I need to do is just finish the race. And then on that like back straight, just before the third DRS zone, I got another 3 seconds. So I thought, okay, now I've got to go 11 seconds faster. And I got there, and I just kept on going.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good pace throughout the race. Congratulations on the win, and we'll get just great race for you, and great qualifying as well. It's quick.
Yeah, that rain really threw a spanner in the works because I didn't have a wet setup on.
Yeah.
Were you considering running a wet setup to maybe get ahead of everybody and then maybe compromise your race a bit?
No, I saw the weather said it would be dry but overcast conditions. So I think, okay, cool, I'll just drive a dry setup. And then they said in quali 2 that rain will come in like 10 to 15 minutes. So I thought, okay, well, I mean, the quali session's only 15 minutes anyway, so I'll just get a quick time early and then just retire. Then the quali 3 came and the rain hit. And I think the first lap I went out, I actually slipped and hit the wall, but I set a time anyway.
Alright. Yeah, so you still ended up towards the front of the grid. Yeah. Did you always have the impression that you were going to start maybe top 3, top 4? Or were you not sure going into it?
After Wednesday's qualifying that never went anywhere, I think I could end up on the podium, because I thought that time was quite fast. I thought I was going to try and replicate that.
Right. Yeah, so well, I can't remember your quickest time, but I remember Q1 being you were 9/10, I think, ahead of everybody else.
I was 21.1.
21.1, yeah, so...
I think the gap was 4 tenths.
Oh, and Q3?
Yeah, Q3.
And then
I'm not sure about
Q3.
Q3.
No,
Yeah.
Q3 I had a
Q2
time
was...
of like 34.2, and then I think it was Jacques Nel, he went out and said a 33.6, and then Buddha I think said a 33.3, and then I went out and I said a 32.6.
I was really impressed with that, because when we had the wet qualifying last week, we were only able to set 34s, 35s, so maybe the rain was a bit less.
The rain was probably a bit lighter. I thought I was thinking about the tier 1 times, and I was thinking my own time was quite fast, and I don't think I could go fast at the tier 1.
Yeah. Oh well, thanks very much for joining. Well done on winning, and good luck in the next race.
Thanks. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
No worries. It's Burnout in here. I'm like, ask him about an incident that happened straight after the first safety car. Because he didn't see it, I saw it. It's a massive dive bomb into turn. I think it was 3 or 4. I'm not sure. It's the one after the straight, right after the main straight. But yeah, he saw everyone was bumping into each other, and then I saw its burnout come right over the curb and dive bomb everyone, cut everyone off. So, see if I can get him in here.
So we will
And
wait
ask
for
him
that for 1 minute. If he doesn't end up joining, then we will have to leave it there.
We can probably, it's me, Buddha, ask him how he went. Like, what
Well, I
happened.
mean, he was in last place. I don't think he's too happy about his
He
result.
lost 9 places as well.
Yeah. Well, send invites out. If nobody ends up joining in about a minute, then I think we'll just call it.
Alright. Oh, we can get was it Yakonaku DNF who got spun by the Mercedes?
Yeah, we can do. Just send invites to anybody, and then we'll talk to them.
Right. Don't know if he's joining or not. Yep, he's joining.
How's it, Yaku? How Yeah, go ahead, Jaden.
How was your race for you? How did you find it? Yeah, we saw your teammate. He got taken out by one of the Mercedes in the quick left-hander. What was your thought? What did you think? And what went through your head as that happened? Yes, good finish. I don't understand how you push those tires at 28 laps. How did you do it?
So what percentage were your tires on at the end there? Because when I practiced for this race last week, I did 21, 22 laps on the hards, and I was getting 65, 70. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So second place. Did you think second place was achievable? Because I mean, your tires were looking quite old, especially with yours behind you. He was on much fresher, harder tires. Yeah. Yeah, well done for second place. I wrote you off because I saw your tires, and I was like, there's no way he's gonna make second. Because when I was looking at your tires, it it wasn't looking the best. But your teammates here as well, Jacques Null, unfortunately about the crash. Do you want to talk to us about it? How did it happen? Was it your fault? Was it his fault? We only ended up joining you after you crashed.
Evening, guys. Yeah, now I've got hit from the back the first time, got wing damage, and just after the second safety car, I got hit again by a Mercedes from the back, ended up spinning out to the wall, and yeah, lost my front wheel. So that will be up for steward's report.
So you think it's his fault then? It wasn't yours.
I was on the racing line, so I believe because it is that curve before you get the S is that long left-hander.
Yeah.
So I was on the inside next to the grass, so there's no other way I could go
Okay.
on
Yeah.
the outside.
Yeah. Fair comment.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add,
Yeah,
Jaden?
Yeah, and at the beginning I was stuck. I couldn't at the formation lap as well. When you need to hold your clutch and release it, released it, and my car just didn't go anywhere. And the same with the start. Yeah, and that's where the whole first safety car arrives from. So I
I
don't
think it
know
was
what happened
about
there.
2 safety cars before the 10th lap. Yeah. So a lot of incidents that happen, and the stewards will most definitely be busy.
Stewards are going to be
over the-
difficult. They're going to be
Very
busy.
busy. Yeah, no. But
Well,
it's their decision, and what they decide, we'll accept.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us. Sorry for the crash, Yuck, and good finish for you, Yuck and Knuckle.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
to FTR
Cheers,
and
guys.
management also for having us.
No worries.
Thanks, bye.
No.
So
See if we can get Donovan. That'll be probably our last one.
right. Yeah. Okay. We'll talk to Donovan.
If that's fine with you.
Yeah, we'll talk to Donovan if he'll join. So we'll just wait a little bit for him.
Let me just. Can't believe if I was in the stewards beat at the moment.
Yeah, I think Stewards will be a little bit busy. There was a lot of incidents in Tier 2
Yeah.
today.
So much penalties. I've never seen so much penalties in a race.
It replicates Tier 3 somewhat with all the pens.
Yeah. I think it was like the same amount of safety cars there was in Tier 3 as there was in Tier 2 tonight.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah. Is Donovan not joining?
Probably give him like a minute, and if not, we could probably wrap up.
Cool. So we'll wait for that.
I'll send him one more invite, and then okay, team. Okay, send the invite. It looks like he's not going to join. So,
Alright, cool.
we'll wrap
Well,
up.
yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks everybody for joining. This has been the is sponsored by Durable Projects. Thanks very much for joining, and yeah.